Hi my art friends, welcome back to part 2 of our Color Monster project. So last time we scribbled our motions and colors out on 2 pieces of paper. So today we're going to see the magic of wax and water. Now if you have watercolor, follow along with this part of the video. What you want to do is take a clean paintbrush and dip it into your colors. That hydrates the colors that you're using. When you switch your color, you need to dip it in the water so that you're not dirtying up the other colors. Okay? The more water you have in your watercolor, the lighter the color is going to be. The more color you have, the darker the color is going to be. Okay, so you see how I keep adding water to the colors I wanted to use? Don't forget that we're trying to show our different emotions with our colors, so be mindful about which colors you're going to use. And just one thing about watercolor, you really don't need very much, so you might think, I'm almost running out of watercolor. If you put water in it, I bet you'll be able to stretch that color pretty far. Okay, so watch my painting. Everywhere that the crown is colored, it's resisting the water. That's because the material wax, which your crowns are made out of wax, resists water. Isn't that cool? So it's kind of like a little bit of a magic trick. It just blocks the color from getting on those crown lines. And that's why I wanted you guys to leave a little bit of space in your scribbles yesterday. Okay, so again, yesterday we talked about how people can have different emotions at the same time. So mine has a few different colors in it to represent different emotions. Okay, so that's good right there. I finished coloring everything. So I'm going to take that and let it dry. I can also put a heavy book on top of it when it's dried for next class so that my paper is very smooth and straight. Now, if you don't have watercolor and you do have markers, you can use markers. So I'm just going to add a few extra scribbles on top of this one with my washable markers. If they're washable, this will work better. So when you take your water on top of markers, it spreads the color like watercolors. So you don't have to go and buy watercolors for this assignment. If you have markers, scribble them all over your page first, and then use your water and you wet a whole bunch of parts of your paper. Okay, if you don't have a paintbrush, you can use a sponge with some water on it, and you'll get the same kind of effect. Now, say you don't have watercolor or markers. That's okay. You can just create your whole background by scribbling. So if you didn't have watercolor or markers, you might want to go ahead and add a few more scribbles so that your drawing is really filled in. Okay? And that's all we're going to be able to do today, because once we paint something, we have to let it dry. So find a nice spot for your project to dry. And again, when it's dry, you can put a really heavy book on top of it, and that'll make your paper nice and straight and smooth for next class. And again, don't throw this away, because we are going to finish this project next class, okay? You just have to wait a little while for it to dry. So once you're done with your coloring in with your wet material, you can go ahead and pack up for the day.